Hold on, did y'all know that we've been being lied to about everything? Not just a few things, but everything. Do y'all know that this is the Gleason map, and the Gleason map is the actual map of the world? Isn't that insane? Because y'all know that we were taught that this is what the world map looks like. It looks just like this. But no, guys, this is not the truth. We've been taught a lie. Once again, it just seemingly never stops. But I wonder why they wouldn't show us this map of the world. Instead, they'd rather show us the map that they're showing us now. Well, I think it has a lot to do with it kind of resembling a dome instead of a globe, okay? And yes, it's flat. Whoa, go figure, right? But let's be honest, y'all, doesn't this make way more sense than the globe Earth? Because even when you bring up how Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, a lot of people are looking at it like, oh, they came way no, gang. Wouldn't it make way more sense? Wouldn't this make way more sense right here? That they were this close to each other and that's why they attacked? Which goes back to what? The Gleason map, the flat Earth model of the map. I know what you're gonna say. You believe in flat Earth? Oh my gosh, I never knew this. Hey, listen, I didn't say anything. I'm just telling y'all that we were taught lies. And maybe instead of believing everything we were taught at 3 years old, maybe we would start to actually question things and look into things a little bit more. All I'm saying is, guys, there is a lot of things that we're taught that are lies that we shouldn't just blindly believe. And I believe that this is one of them. I believe we live in a dome. I mean, each and every day I grow with 100% certainty that we do live in an enclosed ecosystem, 110%. I mean, y'all don't see the symbolism even in sports domes, y'all don't see the symbolism. I mean, this is what it would kind of look like, but just obviously on a world scale. Each and every day I see the lies and all the lies. I wonder, why would they ever tell us the truth? Think about that. Why would they ever tell us the truth if all they ever told us was lies? We're expected to believe this one thing? Come on now. Wake up. Yes, I do believe we live in an enclosed structure similar to this Superdome, but they gotta put the truth in plain sight. It ain't even hidden.
All right, so let's clear this up. The Gleason map isn't a globe projection. It's an azimuthal projection of a flat geocentric Earth with a firmament dome overhead. Unlike globe projections, the Gleason map aligns distances and angles for a flat Earth model. It's all in the original patent, showing it's fundamentally different from globe-based maps. So let's stop confusing the children, shall we? Welcome to Flat Earth.
Hey, this is Greg, and I am at New Smyrna Beach, standing by the ocean, and I'm looking out here, and you can see it as I'm looking. And what can I tell you? There's no such thing as a curve. If you look up the curve that they say exists, they try to tell you that every mile it drops 8 square inches per mile. So 3 miles out, they say we can't see past 3 miles particularly, so as far as I can see, that's about 3 miles out. Nothing is down. There's a reason why they call it water level, because it is level. Water is flat. There's no such thing as water that curves. Okay, I don't know how they've gotten away with that for so long. There's a reason why they call airplanes airplanes, because they're flying in the air over a plane, a flat surface. And you can talk to airline pilots and all kinds of people in the world that fly that say they do not see a curve. It's one of the biggest lies in the history of the world. But this is the one thing that I have not heard hardly anybody tell people about, and that is, why are they telling people this? And if you read the Old Testament and you read what was going on in all the nations that were violating everything that went against God, they worshiped the sun god. And here's the thing, they call it Helios, heliocentric, which is the worship of the sun god. And they want to try to tell us that the sun is 93 million miles away and that the earth moves around the sun and that everything moves around the sun, and they've made the sun their god. And the fact of the matter is that's not true. The earth is a flat plane. There is no curvature out here. You can't see it here at the water. You never will, because water's flat. In addition to that, they want to tell us that the earth and everything moves around the sun because they worship the sun god. You can go to the new Universal Studios they built here in Orlando, Florida, and they even call the hotel over there Helios. There's a reason why they're doing that, because the sun is their god. If you look up all the scriptures in the Bible, it tells you that the earth doesn't move, okay? There's so much there, but I wanted to make this quick video to tell you that. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to hear this and they're going to say, this guy's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You know what? I was in the same boat years ago. I used to think that it was all baloney. I thought the whole thing about flat earth was psychotically crazy and that anybody believed in it was nuts. But then I saw all the videos, specifically on TikTok. I saw hundreds and hundreds of videos for the last couple years, and that really changed my mind. I've seen the rockets that people send up that go up to 100,000 or 120,000 feet, and they see no curves. You see all these airplanes that go up with no curves. There's no such thing as a curve. Okay, and then here's another thing you can look up as well. And this is actually another biblical event. The word planet. They say the earth is a planet, and then they say all these other planets go around us as well. But here's the thing. A planet is called a wanderer. Look that up in the Greek with the word planet. It comes from the Greek word which means a wanderer. Lost stars. The earth is not a lost star. The earth is not a lost planet that's just roaming around through space. The earth is a plane that doesn't move. Heaven is my throne. Earth is my footstool. And when he comes back, he says that everybody in the earth will be able to see him. If we were on a globe that's spun around like that, you would not be able to see it all. But if you're on a flat plane, there's definitely some kind of a way that our Father in heaven has the ability to come down here. And when he does, he can come down on a flat plane of a world that can make the entire world see him return. So there's so much more I could say, but I hope you watch this and at least appreciate what I'm saying and do all the research and look it up. Because the biggest thing you need to know is that the reason why they push the globe through NASA and everybody else is because they worship the sun god, Helios. And then do the research on all the people that work for NASA. Anybody that's gone into space, anybody that claims they've gone to the moon, and almost everybody that works over there at NASA is part of the Freemasonic Lodge that worships the devil.
I'm so curious when I get these little pictures in my comment section trying to prove that water sticks to a spinning ball or that water curves simply because you have water in a container. Let me repeat that. Water in a container that is filled to the very top and getting ready to teeter over the edges, which it actually is in this photo, like it's starting to drip down the sides of the container to prove that waters don't sit level, that they curve. Like, do you not see the image that you're looking at? Sure, it's starting to curve as it goes over the edge of the container, but that doesn't prove that it would curve into the shape of a ball and stick to or cling to a rotating spinning ball that is rocketing through space. All this picture does is prove that water needs a container, and that once it is filled to the brim of that container, it begins to spill out and seek its level again. That's all this picture does.
Okay, if you still think we live on a globe, I really want you to pay attention to this video. This is the planet Venus traced in the night sky over an 8-year period. Every 8 years, it does this mathematically precise, sacred geometric pattern on repeat into infinity. Now, this is why it does this. The planets are the only wandering luminaries in the night sky, and this is the path that they take. So they just keep on rotating in this beautiful flower of life geometric pattern until they create this perfect sacred geometry over about an 8-year period. Okay, now check this out. If you point a camera at Polaris, the North Star, which doesn't move, by the way, and time-lapse it, you'll notice that the stars do perfect circles around Polaris to infinity. The ones closest to Polaris are going slower. The ones further away are going faster. Now, the 8 planets, which aren't physical objects, I'm going to prove that in a second, they are the only wandering luminaries that don't follow this transit. Now, this is what Venus actually looks like. Does this look like a physical object to you guys? When you take a high-power zoom camera and zoom in on the planet Venus, this is what it actually looks like. They are wandering luminaries, just like all of our ancestors told us. This is what Mars looks like. Again, does this look like a physical object to you guys? There's a big difference from what we see and observe with our own 2 eyes to what NASA's CGI bullshit is telling you. And here you're gonna see Neptune. Again, this is not a physical planet, guys. They are frequencies of light within the waters above. And this is exactly what the stars really look like, guys, when you just zoom in on them. That's all you need to do. This is exactly what it is, guys. This is what all of our ancestors told us. What does this look like to you? It's frequencies, it's sound within water. That's what it is. Now I'm going to show you what cymatics look like, sound frequencies when they're pitched into water and they use a light. Look at this. It's the exact same thing, guys. This is what it is. This is exactly what you are seeing right here. These are cymatics. It's all sound and frequency. The truth is right in front of your face. You just need the eyes to see. I am telling you. I am telling you this is what it is. Stop believing the lies that your predecessors want you to believe. They are hiding God's true creation. This is what all of your ancestors tried to tell you. This is the wisdom and information that they passed along. The firmament, the waters above the firmament, the waters above, the stars on the firmament. Literally every single one of our ancestors all told us the exact same thing. It's right in your face.
Apparently there are over 12,000 satellites in orbit today. And of those 12,000, maybe 60% of them are probably Elon Musk's Starlink satellites. But how come every time we watch live footage or spacewalks of the ISS, we don't see any other satellites? Ever. And apparently, the ISS is traveling at 17,000 miles per hour, at least. But an SR-71 Blackbird goes 2,100 miles per hour. Look at the aerodynamics of the ISS in comparison to fighter jets like the SR-71. And you mean to tell me that they're traveling at 17,000 miles per hour while just casually floating around and working on the spaceship?
To all my religious people, do you believe in flat earth or do y'all believe in space? Like, it's a serious question I got because the Bible talks about a firmament, which is basically a dome, flat earth. That's basically what it is. But most religious people you see, you know, they watch the news, they believe in space and shit. So it's like, what do you really believe? Because, like, how the hell you believe in space, but you also believe in the Bible? But the Bible basically tells you, yeah, there's no space. You dig deeper into it and you realize that NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. And then if you look at it, the little red marking on the little NASA logo, it kind of looked like a snake tongue. A snake tongue, you say, to deceive, you say, that must be Satan.
So NASA claims that this is a real picture of the moon in front of Earth in outer space. Where are the stars? That's really the dark side of the moon? Are you joking? But that's not the topic of this video. Just stay tuned and I'll show you 2 videos that will prove to you that the Earth is not a globe. So apparently the ISS is going at 17,500 miles per hour. And you see all of the videos of the astronauts like just floating around and working on it as it's going literally at incomprehensible speeds. Well, have you played Uncharted? You know when you're like fighting on the plane and then the plane door opens and everyone gets sucked out of the plane suddenly? Yeah. If you're in some sort of aircraft and you open the doors, the pressure difference will rip you out and kill you. Even if you're only going like 500 miles an hour. So it's a bunch of garbage. Second video, this guy is chilling in Kathmandu, Nepal, I believe. About 150 miles away from Mount Everest. And he can see Mount Everest. That's amazing. There's no visible curvature in sight in this video. And you could be like, oh, well, he's technically, you know, the mountain's high enough to where it goes over the curvature. But here's the thing about 8 inches per mile squared. You would have to be literally sitting at level with the horizon in order for the horizon to be at eye level if we were on a globe.
Okay, you gotta watch this video and tell me, because I've researched, I'm trying to find an answer to this frickin' question, and it only leads to one place so far, and I'm not looking for an echo chamber. We need to find out about the underwater cables that connect our world and make up the internet, and why they're laid in a particular way. Check this out.
Notice how there are no cables from here to here or here to here. You might ask, why is that important? Here's why. The reason you will never see these cables connected is because look how far the distance is from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, and the vast distance from 1 to 3. But Ryan, what about these cables here? Oh yeah, you mean the short distance right here? But you might ask yourself, Ryan, why is that important? Over 99% of the world's internet traffic, including international phone calls and data transfers, rely on cables. Not satellites, cables. Y'all, pull up any map of sea cables and you'll see that none of these touch. Because we live on a flat, geocentric plane, just like the Word of God says. In Revelations 29, and they who met the angels went up on the breadth of the earth. What is that? That is Strong's G4114. Breadth meaning zytos, has a root word, breadth, suggesting great extent. Let's look up this root word plateaus. G4116. G4116 says plateaus, spread out flat.
I would have a lot easier of a time believing in ball Earth if the moon landing wasn't completely, well, take it from words of the astronauts themselves, they won't swear on a Bible that they went to the moon, put it that way. And also, if NASA themselves didn't admit, yeah, we use CGI all the time to explain concepts and ideas that our cameras can't capture. And then they also have the biggest film studio in North America on NASA property, dude. Look it up. One of the biggest film studios in the world is right next to where they study space. I mean, there's too much. Something is going on here.
Lucy.
I didn't see an airplane or anything.
Oh, got it off.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.